The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org. Well, it is 11 o'clock in Dallas, and so it is time for us to get underway. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Tony Hansen, and I'm the president of the Dallas Genealogical Society, and I welcome you all to our November meeting. Well, even more if my little dancer would work. So you should all have had an opportunity to review the previous meeting minutes. They're available on the website. You can go to events and next general meeting and then meeting minutes, and you will see a list for all of the previous meetings. And for every meeting, we have, of course, the minutes that are recorded by our secretary. We have recordings where the speaker has permitted it, as well as recordings of the general meeting itself. So you can go back and view not only this month, but every month and previous month and catch up on some of the things that we've done in previous meetings. This is our financial summary provided by our secretary. And so it shows that we have a very healthy balance of funds available, which is good. It also shows that we have a pretty healthy loss here. So those of you with good eyesight may notice the minus sign in front of that number there. And I'd like to add a little bit of explanation for what that's about. So back in 2021, the board voted to try to invest some funds in a manner that would try to raise some additional interest earnings for us. And we placed about $40,000 in some bond mutual funds, which at the time, according to the investment advisors that were consulted, that was the place to put your funds. And if any of you have followed the bond funds over the course of the last couple of years, you realize that that hasn't been such a good place to be. The investment committee got together and looked at that again recently and decided to cut our losses short. And so we have sold off all of our holdings in the bond funds, and that is what resulted in about a $6,400 loss for us. And that's what was accounted for in this month, and that's why we've got a very large minus number there. What the investment committee has recommended, though, is that we invest the funds instead in a higher yield savings program that we found. Interest rates have come up while bond rates have come down, and what we've identified through Chase Bank, which is who we normally deal with, is that they have essentially a high performance savings account. No guaranteed income. Right now it's about 4%, but that's going to change over time. The real advantage to an organization like us, though, is that it is insured. It's FDIC insured. It's just like any other savings account, just a little bit higher interest rate. So, going forward, we'll have a much more secure, much safer investment and a little higher yield as well. So that explains why the month showed up or why the loss showed up for this month. We did receive, again, a little bit over a year ago, a $500 donation. This came to us from the Association of Professional Genealogists Texas chapter, which had shut down. They had some extra funds left over, and they donated it to us with the provision that we invest those funds in some kind of a digitization project. And again, we've had these funds now for over a year, and we don't have a digitization project where we need funding for that. So we looked around. As you know, hopefully we participated in the North Texas Giving Day program. And looking there, I noticed there was only one other genealogy society that participated in that. That happened to be the Tarrant County Black Historical and Genealogical Society. They were raising funds for a digitization effort they have underway. And so in consultation with the board, we decided to take that $500 and donate it to that organization. So I went over and presented the check to them on October 24th. And was pleasantly surprised to run into an old DGS friend. Carol Rourke is working with them as a consultant, helping organize their archives and get their stuff organized and saved in a professional manner. So was really happy to see her and catch up with her. It's been a while since we've seen her. I'd encourage you to go take a look at the portal to Texas History. That's where they have already posted a large collection of historical photographs that they have archived and digitized. And that's where they're going to continue to use that platform for all of the things that they are currently working on. So I think the money is going to a really good home, and looking forward to see some exciting results from what they do with it. The board had also decided 5 years ago to establish a box truck scholarship fund for Dallas Public Library employees. We put up $1,500 per year, and then the genealogy and historical section, mainly Stephanie Bennett, the manager, chooses how she wants to spend that money for her employees to get them a little more education and a little more background in genealogy. And so that's been ongoing for the past 5 years, and we have just voted to renew that and to extend it for another 5 years again. So there's some funds left over. COVID kind of slowed down their travel and slowed down their spending, but we're going to bring that back up to the $7,500 level so we can continue going forward each year, making the full $1,500 a year available to them for the training that they choose. And the feedback I get from Stephanie and the feedback that we hear from her employees is a really beneficial thing. And I think we can all be proud that we're helping give them a chance to get a little smarter about genealogy and to help their patrons up there. I also want to give a shout out to the Friends of the Dallas Public Library. When we set this up, we had a little bit of difficulty figuring out how to actually hand a check to city employees. Turns out that's a very complicated process. They've got some very stringent rules about stuff they can accept. We were able to work out a deal through the Friends of the Public Library because they've been doing this for a number of years for a number of different libraries. And so they basically administer the account for us and do all the paperwork. So we're very grateful to them, especially Mary Wolonsky, who I've been working with to make this happen again. Been a little bit of movement on our board as well. So Barbara Coakley has left her position as volunteer administrator so she can slide on over and be our new seminar administrator. So she's going to be working hand in hand with the vice president to manage our seminars going forward. And I'm very grateful to her for that. We've also had another volunteer, Cheryl Freeman, has agreed that she will be our new Texas State Genealogical Society delegate. So she's going to be coordinating with the Texas State Society and the board to make sure that we're aware of what's going on there and that they're aware of the needs and issues that we have as well. So Cheryl, who's just recovering from surgery too, if you're out there, I hope you're feeling a little bit better and look forward to seeing your bright smiley face soon. So we still have a few positions that we're looking for volunteers for. We do have an opening for our Director of Information Technology, for a Director of Publication Content, and now because Barbara has shifted over for a volunteer coordinator. And so if you're interested in donating a little bit of your time and helping this organization continue to do the great things that we do, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. We've been active in a couple of events. On the 19th of October, we participated in a volunteer day for organizations that was held here at the Dallas Public Library. This is an opportunity for nonprofit organizations to kind of wave the flag and get in front of some people looking to have an opportunity to volunteer with some things. So we spent a couple of hours up there and made a number of really good contacts as well. The next day was Family History Day here at the library. That was a day-long event sponsored by the Waco Public Library, Bill Buckner, if you're familiar with that. So we had a group of people set up to consult with people that had questions about genealogy, had questions about DNA, what have you. So Patty Smith, Jean Larson, Marty Fox, Barbara Ware, Susan Younger, Sharon Bowles, and Corey Story. Thank you all for volunteering. As you can see, we had a lot of good interaction with the people that were here, a lot of good in-depth discussions with people that were trying to get smarter about their genealogy. So it was a good day all the way around. One of the things that we identified in our planning conference this summer was that we needed to have a little more insight into what you as our members want us to do. What kind of presentations would you like to see? What kind of educational opportunities would you like us to try to present? And so hopefully you all received our community interest survey. It was sent out to everybody that basically we have an email address for and solicited you to provide us some input. And we got some pretty good input. We received about 307 responses, which is about a 13.6 response rate, which for things like this is really pretty good. I was happy to see that about 40% of our members responded. So we've got really good input from those of you who are actually DGS members, and then a large number of people who are not currently members as well. Our typical respondent, if you're looking for kind of our typical member, is a woman, 81% of our responses, who lives in the DFW area. That's 71% of you, between the ages of 61 and 75, and that was about 58%. That's kind of our typical person who responded to the survey. That's just kind of a skim the surface of what we could get at a quick look. We're doing a detailed analysis of that right now. So hopefully in the very near future, we're going to be able to provide you with some more feedback about what you want, which is going to guide us as we plan and do our events going forward too. So again, thank you to those of you who responded. We really value your input. I'd also like to remind you that we have a number of writing contests going on. We're just completing our movers and shakers, which is an attempt to have you tell us about people that have moved and documenting their history as they came from there to here or around here when they got here. I'm sorry, that was the Families on the Move. Movers and Shakers is just the new program that we're launching to have stories about people who have actually had some kind of an impact or made an influence on their community. We'd like to hear your stories about that. And of course, our Out of the Attic is just stories about interesting artifacts and things people have found. The whole point here is that we want to encourage you as our members to write about your family, to share it with us and let it publish or let us publish it for you. Again, if you've ever been listen to any of Kurt Witcher's discussions, a quote that I love from him is that, nobody wants our junk. Nobody's going to want our stacks of stuff. They're interested in our stories. What have you discovered? What have you learned? What was interesting about your families? And this is an opportunity for you to have a little bit of an inducement and, of course, a platform to publish it, once you have those discoveries and once you write them. So would encourage you to please reach out to our newsletter editor and contact them about stories you might potentially be thinking about writing. They'll give you some suggestions and help you do it. Or if you got something in the bag, send it our way and we'll be happy to publish it for you. So I would encourage you all to do that. It sounds challenging at first, but it's actually kind of fun. And it's really gratifying when you see the final products as well. So again, I would strongly encourage you all to please participate in that. Time flies. It's been 5 years since Lloyd Bachtrick passed away. We have an opportunity to nominate him for a National Genealogical Society Hall of Fame award. This is an award that they present to people who have passed on, who have had a significant impact on the genealogical community, and Lloyd certainly did. They have a 5-year look back, if you will. They want to wait until 5 years after somebody has died before you can nominate somebody, and so this is the first year that we'll have the opportunity to do it, and we are, of course, doing that. One of the things that they encourage is letters of support. So if any of you knew Lloyd, interacted with Lloyd, have a Lloyd story, have anything to say about why you think this is a deserving award for Lloyd to receive posthumously, I would love to hear from you. I'm accepting those until December 1st, because then we got to bundle it all together and make sure we get the nominations submitted by the December 15th deadline. But again, if you think you would like to have something to say about this, we'd love to include it in the nomination. So again, you can send it to me, president@dallasgenealogy.org, and we will definitely include that with the nomination. There's more information too. You can go to the Hall of Fame webpage. It explains a bit about the award and the criteria. And we have a page on our website, the Bachtrick Papers, which tells a little bit about Lloyd's life and all of the many accomplishments and things that he did. So you can get some more information if you're looking for some ideas there. We've got a great series of seminars planned for next year for 2024. So we've got Tom Jones coming back on April 13th. And he was really popular here the last time. That's part of why we're bringing him back. We got Nika Smith-Sewell, who's going to be talking about information about African-American genealogy. And then we have, really exciting, is Blaine Bettinger coming in September. Blaine, if you don't know much about the DNA world, Blaine is a rock star currently. He's just really, really knowledgeable about this, and we're fortunate to have him. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I haven't done my DNA yet. Well, got you covered there too. We're planning a special DGS run seminar on June 8th. The idea here is that for those of you that are just kind of getting your feet in the ground and just dipping your toes in the DNA gene pool, we'd like to help you get you started. And the focus of this June event is going to be to help you figure out how to submit your samples, how to analyze them, and to provide you with some kind of a background so you understand what DNA is all about, to hopefully then get you encouraged to register for the September event and then really kind of take the graduate level course with Blaine. So would encourage you to think about that June event if you've not yet taken advantage of the DNA testing and what it can do. It's really exciting results. I've had great success with it. Ask me, I'll tell you about it. Don't ask me, I'll probably tell you anyway. But anyway, I've had good results. But that June event is a good opportunity to come up to speed if you've not yet started. And of course, September is a great opportunity to meet with a really knowledgeable person. Hopefully, you all know about our special interest groups. We have a large number of them that are active, meeting throughout the month. Again, you can go to the website under calendar and special interest groups, and you will see a calendar of the current meetings that we have. Coming up, we have our German genealogy group on November 11th. They meet every year of the month. The Jewish group on November 16th, DNA on the 16th, another chance to get boned up on your DNA stuff. African American on November 18th, and then the Mac Gen group, another bi-monthly organization, meeting on December 9th. But I would refer you again to the website for specifics about when and where and how. Most of these are hybrid, so you'd be able to do them remotely or come on in and talk with some other fellow genealogists. Next month, we've got Kevin Klaus, who's an information specialist from the Archives and Records Office, the Texas General Land Office, who's speaking to us, talking about genealogy research at the Texas General Land Office. That will again be a hybrid meeting. So of course, those of you participating in Zoom, nothing changes. For those of us here in person, it does change a bit because we're going to be at a different location. There's a prior event here at the downtown branch at the library. So we're going to be meeting at the White Rock Hills branch. on 9150 Ferguson Road in Dallas. And here's a map showing it's a little bit off to the, I think that way's west. I mean, east. It's over there somewhere. But it's a really nice library. They've got beautiful space in there. There's lots of parking. It's a nice neighborhood. So it's just kind of a chance to see another one of the many fabulous Dallas Public Library branches and learn a little bit more about researching in the Texas Land Office. The federal government has mandated that we all do a little extra genealogy this weekend. So we're going to have an extra hour over the weekend. Don't forget it's daylight savings, but if you're still poking around about 2 o'clock in the morning, reset your watches, but don't forget that too. I'd just like to throw a couple of thank yous out there to the tech team, the fabulous tech team that makes this hybrid stuff all work so seamlessly. So you can't see them back in there in the room or on Zoom, but Melissa Fleming and Todd Dedecker, Paul Feather, and Kim Edge are helping out on the call. They do a marvelous job of making this all work, and we're really, really grateful to them, as well as the Dallas Public Library. We have a fabulous facility that we can meet in here. They provide the podiums, the microphones, all the audio video equipment, and the people that help us make it work. So Matt Sabanis and Jordan Bach, you guys rule, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you for that. So with that, it is time for our educational presentation. I'm going to ask Patty Smith to come up here and introduce our speaker while I fiddle with the PC and hopefully get it ready. So this has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. Your fees have been supporting these and other society activities. If you're not yet a member, please consider joining now. Go to dallasgenealogy.org and click on the membership tab.